I, for one, definitely had a hoodie on over this weekend at the airport. All right, a major court ruling this week could put OpenAI, the makers of ChatGPT, on the hook for hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. Let's bring in our business and tech reporter, Bremer, to break it all down. All right, Cami, so let's get right into it. What is happening right now with OpenAI?
Well, thank you so much for having me. So a federal judge ordered OpenAI to turn over internal Slack messages and documents. And for those who don't know, Slack is a messaging site that organizations and schools use to communicate. But what's important is what's in these messages. So it's been known that employees have been talking about deleting data sets of pirated books known as Book 1 and 2. And the court won't allow OpenAI to have attorney-client privilege because it has not given a legal reason for deleting these data sets, which kind of suggests that maybe they knew they had copyrighted books and other works, which would support a claim of copyright infringement, which is a huge deal.
So from a business standpoint, what does this mean? I mentioned the hundreds, millions, maybe even billions of dollars?
Yes, exactly. So pretty much, if this supposed claim is true, then that would be copyright infringement, like we mentioned, which is an incredibly huge deal, and that would be around $150,000 per work. Now, for a big company, maybe that doesn't seem like a ton of money, but if we really look into it, they could have hundreds of thousands of copyrighted books in a shadowed library. So $150,000 per piece, that could easily rack up to hundreds of millions, almost $1 billion. And the reason why this isn't so far-fetched is because just this past September, another company, Anthropic, had this settlement of $1.5 billion in damages from having a copyright issue. So looking at this, tech industry is really going to be looking closely, especially now that we have regulation towards AI. They're going to be examining how AI systems are being trained and how are they going to go about documenting licensing agreements and all this future stuff.
So we are the entertainment show here at Citrus.
Yes.
So how does this affect entertainment, as a landscape as a whole?
Well, for authors, publishers, screenwriters, this is actually great news because I feel like in the past few years, all we've been told is AI is coming from our jobs, especially in the writing field, the broadcasting field. Exactly, even here. So with this, it kind of gives them a little bit of protection, regulation, and reassurance that their works aren't just going to be stolen from them and their jobs aren't just going to be taken. I know in the SAG-AFTRA strike, this was a big issue that was brought up. So only future will tell.
Yeah, restrictions coming. iHeartRadio, earlier in the show we mentioned it, and now this. Thanks so much, Cami.